Hello, you guys. Welcome to day one of this 5-day masterclass on how to step into your inner badass to conquer binge eating. I am so freaking fired up this morning. I am so excited for these next 5 days together. I'm literally so fired up. I am so freaking excited. I truly believe that this is going to be the greatest week of your life. I truly believe this is going to be the greatest week of your life. We have an incredible 5 days together, and I'm so excited to lead you, to support you, to share exactly what it takes to conquer binge eating. So if you are fired up with me, if you are here live with me, say hello in the comments. If you are going to be catching the replay, hashtag replay down below so I know who is here, who's ready, who's fired up, and who is super excited. Sarah is here, Maggie's here, Jennifer, Brianna. Brianna's one of my Badass Academy clients. Hello, Brianna. Who else is watching? Say hello. Missy's here. Welcome, you guys. Okay. Let me know how you're feeling as well. Meredith is here. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. Okay, before we dive in, I want to share a quick 1-minute audio that I created for you this morning to get into the vibe, to get into this energy, stepping into your badass self. I want you to feel the power that you have within yourself. I want you to feel your inner badass throughout this entire 5 days and beyond. So I'm just gonna take 2 seconds here to play a quick 1-minute little voice message that I have for you guys. So enjoy. Hopefully you guys can hear this, and we're gonna get this party started. Welcome to the greatest week of your life, where you fully step into your inner badass who is beyond ready to conquer binge eating. Your inner badass knows you're way more powerful over your binge urges and chooses to not give into them even when they feel strong and uncomfortable. Your inner badass is confident with your food choices and no longer cares about what other people think about how much and what you're eating. Your inner badass stops overthinking every food choice and listens to her intuition and starts building up self-trust so she knows exactly how much to eat without dieting. Your inner badass believes in yourself and your ability to conquer binge eating. So you show up every single day for yourself and your relationship with food until you conquer. You're about to embark on the greatest journey of your life over the next 5 days and beyond. So get ready, badass. It's your time to conquer. Okay, I literally have chills. I am so freaking fired up. I am so freaking excited. Who else is pumped? I want you guys to feel this energy. I want you guys to get fired up. How are you guys doing? Drop an emoji. Let me know if you are pumped, if you are freaking ready to conquer binge eating. I'm so pumped. Now, hopefully that audio message just got you in the vibe. Yes, I can step into my inner badass. Yes, I can conquer binge eating. So before we actually, yes, Missy says me, Sarah says yes. Before we dive in, I just want to explain how this 5-day masterclass is going to work so everything is super clear and we have the best time over these 5 days, okay? So number one, the training schedule. If you go to the guide section of this group under Step Into Your Inner Badass to Conquer Binge Eating 5-day masterclass, you're going to see the entire schedule when I'm going to be live. So plug it into your calendar, show up for yourself. Today and tomorrow, I'm live in this group. Wednesday, I'm dropping a podcast episode in this group. Thursday, I go live on my Instagram, and then Friday, I'm back in here. All the trainings, the entire training schedule is posted in the group. So like I said, go under the guide section under the 5-day masterclass, and you'll see the whole schedule there, okay? You're also going to get email reminders before each training, so it's just super clear. There's also reminders in this group, so stay plugged in. A badass shows up for herself. A badass prioritizes herself. A badass shows up powerfully, even for a 5-day training. A badass leans into these master classes because she knows it can absolutely change her life. So stepping into your badass starts right now. Congratulations. You're here. You're going to step into your badass today for the next 5 days and beyond. The second thing I want to talk to you about is this is a free 5-day masterclass. There is a VIP option. You get access to a separate group. I'm going to share with you exactly how I've maintained a binge-free life for 4 years with no urges to binge, and what you can start doing now to set yourself up for success in the long term. So what you can start doing today so that you can have a binge-free life sustainably. I'm going to share what I still do to this day to have no urges to binge, and what you can start doing today to set yourself up to have those sustainable binge-free days, binge-free months, binge-free years. You get to ask me any questions that you have. You also get access to an exclusive coaching call with me on Zoom to get personalized coaching. It's $33. So I dropped the link in the chat if you want to upgrade your ticket to VIP because you're a badass, you go all in, you can go ahead and do that, okay? Louisa's in for VIP, Tracy's in, Anna's in, Chloe's in, Sined, Kristen, Haley. So many of you guys are already joined, but the link is there, okay? The last thing I'm going to say is there's going to be giveaways during this 5-day masterclass. I'm going to share what it takes to stop binge eating, but I want this to be the funnest, greatest 5 days of your life. So the first winner is going to be announced today at the end of this masterclass. They messaged me the reason why they joined the masterclass. That was how you entered the giveaway. I'm going to announce the winner at the end of this training, and there's going to be more winners throughout the next 5 days. So stay tuned on how to enter. Okay. All right. Let's dive in. Stepping into your inner badass to conquer binge eating. The reason I wanted to do this 5-day masterclass is because I know exactly what it takes to stop binge eating. I know exactly how to transition out of feeling out of control with food, feeling like you're going through this out-of-body experience, thinking about food all day long, to feeling calm and relaxed around food, to have no urges to eat until you're physically sick, to get your mental real estate back so you can actually enjoy your life because you're not thinking about food all day long. And when I think back to my journey back in 2019, I knew what to do. I knew I needed to release my food rules, but there was fear. I knew that I needed to not give in to my urges, but sometimes it literally felt impossible because they just felt so strong and so powerful. I knew that I needed to stop obsessing over every single thing that I was eating, but I loved being in control. But I realized that trying to control everything only left me binging and thinking about food so much more. So what I realized along my journey was I needed to become someone. I needed to become someone who can conquer binge eating. I needed to step into my inner badass, the version of myself who was willing to be brave, who was courageous, who would show up for herself and her relationship with food every single day and become someone who no longer binges. All of you have an inner badass within you, whether you know it or not. But how many of you guys know, like deep down, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty badass. Let me know in the comments, like, you're like, I've done some amazing things in my life. I'm pretty badass. All of you guys should be saying me in the chat. All of you guys should be saying me in the chat. I want to see all the me's down below. 21 of you guys, I want to see all me's down below. Yes, I know I'm a badass. Yeah, you know what? I am pretty amazing. Yes. Meredith. Diane. Hey, Haley. I just saw you join VIP, which is so exciting. Sarah. Brianna. Jay. You are a badass. Carla. I have no doubt in my mind that you will conquer binge eating, but you need to know that. You need to remind yourself of that and show up every single day as the badass version of yourself that knows that you were meant to live a life where you could fully trust yourself around food. You're confident in how much to eat without MyFitnessPal. You can stay home alone with no desire to eat in secret. You can go out to restaurants, order exactly what you want without overthinking and having to always finish your plate. You are confident in your food choices and no longer worry about what other people think about how much you're eating or what you're eating. Kristen's a badass, Clarinda's a badass, Carla's a badass, Haley, Brittany, Sandy, Svenja? I know we were chatting. Hopefully I said your name right. Misty, Leah, Jennifer, Louisa, Gracia. So for today's first training, I want to help you step into this version of yourself. Today's focus is all about the mindset piece and understanding who you need to become in order to conquer binge eating. And a huge part of becoming somebody who conquers binge eating is noticing all the different parts of yourself that you need to let go of. Parts of yourself that no longer serve you. Parts of yourself that can't come with you as you're on this journey of conquering binge eating. So, number one, you need to let go of celebrating everybody else except for yourself. How many of you guys find it easier to celebrate other people than it is to celebrate yourself? Be honest. Just let me know in the comments. It is so common to celebrate everyone else and to be so proud of everyone else and to, celebrate everyone else, but you don't celebrate yourself. You are doing yourself a massive disservice if you're doing this. Hey, Sinette joined VIP. Can't wait. A badass celebrates other people and cheers them on, but also celebrates herself. She doesn't look at other people and say, oh, well, it must be nice. I wish I was having less urges and feeling more calm around food. I'm just going to celebrate her. A badass celebrates other people without making it feel like, why am I not there? She uses it as proof for why she can get there too. She knows how important it is to feel seen, to feel validated, and to be proud of herself every single step of the way. When was the last time you celebrated yourself? I really want you to think about this. Like, when was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and you said, you're a badass. I am so proud of you. I am so proud for how far you've come. I see this so often when people feel like, well, my win is too small to be celebrated. I didn't do anything dramatic, so there's not really a point of celebrating myself. Other people are having way more bigger progress than me, and I just have this little win over here, well, I just went out for dinner and I had some sweet potato fries without feeling guilty, but it's really not that big of a deal compared to this other person who's talking about having these binge-free months. So my win kind of feels pretty insignificant. There's not really a point of celebrating it. That is wrong on so many levels. Every win counts. I want you to drop that below. Every win counts. Drop it down below. Every win counts. Because when you actually start to celebrate these quote unquote smaller wins, that is actually what adds up to you having these massive wins of binge-free months and binge-free years. But you're not going to get there if you can't even be proud of yourself for eating something without guilt because, oh, it's not that big of a deal. The reason why people are having binge-free weeks and binge-free months, and many of my clients fully, sustainably conquering binge eating for good, is because they don't see any win as too small. They celebrate every single win along the journey. So even if it seems pretty insignificant, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal, you celebrate yourself. Because what does celebrating yourself do for you? It gets you into a state of excitement. It gets you into the state of excitement. And on this journey of conquering binge eating, you need to feel excited. You need to feel hope. You need to feel momentum. You need to have belief. You need to feel excited. And a huge reason why so many people feel stuck and feel like it's not working or it's too hard to conquer binge eating is because you're not actually seeing how far you've come. You're not actually celebrating yourself every single day. It's hard to feel like I'm making progress and I can do this if you're not celebrating the wins that are right in front of you, because you're waiting for this crazy milestone. You're waiting for a binge-free year or binge-free months to celebrate yourself. But in order to get there, you got to celebrate the binge-free day. You got to celebrate not giving into your urge once. You got to celebrate going out for dinner and ordering what you want without guilt. That's actually how you get to those binge-free months and binge-free years sustainably. Even if it feels like you're experiencing small wins, you got to celebrate that and make it a big deal. Like, holy moly, did I just do that? Is this my life right now? Yes, make it a big deal. Celebrate the crap out of yourself. Now, I understand celebrating yourself can sometimes feel challenging because when I was on my journey in 2019, I had a fear of celebrating myself. And let me know if you can relate to this. I had a fear of celebrating myself because what if I jinxed myself? What if I got so excited that I haven't binged in 3 days and 5 days a week and then I binge? Well, I don't want to celebrate myself. I don't want to get too excited. What if it's too good to be true? And I get way too excited and then I binge. I don't want to feel disappointed. I don't want to feel ashamed. I don't want to feel embarrassed. I don't want to feel like a failure. So I'm just not going to celebrate myself at all because that's the safe route and at least I won't be disappointed. That keeps you stuck. That keeps you stuck. You don't feel excited, you don't feel momentum, and you don't actually make progress. When you don't celebrate yourself, it seems like conquering binge eating is so far away because you don't feel momentum, you're not excited. You don't feel like you're making progress because you literally aren't celebrating the things that are going well for you right now. So you feel like you're not making progress and everything seems so much more challenging. A binge-free life feels so far away because you're not seeing how far you're coming every single day. Something we do in all of my programs, whether you're inside my Root and Rewire membership, if you're inside Conquer, or you're an Academy client, we always celebrate wins. We always celebrate wins. By the way, if you're a client of mine watching this, let me know what program you are and say hello in the comments. Let me know membership, Conquer, Academy. We celebrate every win. There's never a win that's too small or too big. We jump up and down, we throw a freaking party every single day. Because a badass is somebody who is proud of herself. A badass is somebody who says, this is a big deal. I'm proud of myself. I am so excited that I didn't give in to my binge urge. A badass doesn't say, oh, well, I didn't give in to my binge urge, but I probably shouldn't celebrate because it's only one time. A badass makes it a big deal. A badass knows her worth. A badass is like, I am so freaking proud of myself. Brianna's in the Academy. Brian's inside of Conquer. Liz is inside Conquer. So the first part of stepping into your inner badass is you gotta celebrate every win. Every single win. Drop a yes in the chat if you're committed to celebrating every single win. Every single win. I don't care. I don't care how small you think it is. I don't care if you think nobody else is going to think this is significant. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. And I promise you, you are going to make faster progress with your relationship with food because you're going to feel excited. You're going to feel momentum. The people who celebrate their wins, they win more because they're making it a big deal and they're seeing how far they've come. They're treating themselves like a badass who is so damn proud of themselves every step of the way. Haley says, great perspective. Sarah, Brianna, Carla, Sandy, Meredith, Brian, Brittany, Misty, you're all going to start celebrating yourself. Okay, number 2. This is a big one. You need to let go of blaming anyone or anything for your binges. I've heard it all. Whether it is, oh, well, it's the time of the month and that's why I'm binging. Maybe you're blaming your coworkers for bringing snacks into the lunchroom and, oh, that's why I'm binging. Maybe you're blaming your partner for bringing chocolate in the house. Oh, that's why I'm binging. Maybe you're blaming your neighbor because your neighbor loves to bake and every single time she brings over treats and you get mad because you're like, why do you need to bring things over? A badass does not blame anyone or anything for her binges. She takes radical responsibility for her behaviors with food. And this is not to blame yourself. You're not the reason why you're binging. I'm not saying that. But it's so easy to blame other people. It's so easy to blame other circumstances. And I remember on my journey, I used to blame many things. My mom for one of them. My mom, when I used to live with my parents, my mom would bake chocolate chip banana bread. And that was a big trigger food for me. And I would get mad at her for baking. It wasn't her fault. I had no control around food. It wasn't her fault. I had an unhealthy relationship with food. But it's easy to say, well, I would have eaten so healthy today if you didn't bake that. And it's not true. You could have had a quote unquote healthy day of eating. Maybe if your mom didn't bake the chocolate chip banana bread, but you still have urges and you need to recognize that. Not in like an, oh, I'm broken type of way, but okay, I recognize that and I'm going to commit. I'm going to commit to healing my relationship with food so that I could get rid of my urges. So even if my mom bakes, I could enjoy it without binging. Your partner or somebody who has a healthy relationship with food, they can be in the same household around as you and be around somebody who bakes, chocolate chip banana bread, for example, and not binge. Not because they're more motivated or they're more disciplined. They don't have urges to binge. So it's easy to blame other people, but it's nobody's fault. It's not even your fault. You just have to get rid of your binge urges. But the first step is noticing, where are you blaming other people? Where are you blaming external factors for you feeling out of control with food? Who do you tend to blame your binging on? Let me know in the chat. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's coworkers bringing snacks into work. Maybe you're blaming the time of the month. Maybe you're blaming your work schedule and how busy you are all the time. The reason why a badass does not blame anything or anyone for her binges is because she trusts herself to make decisions around food. She's confident in who she is. She's confident in how much she needs to eat. A badass knows that she could trust herself and she is going to make the best decisions for herself. The stress of work every day, hormones. I blame myself. So even if your coworkers, for example, brings in donuts to celebrate somebody's birthday, let's just use this as an example. A badass has the discernment to say, okay, I could have these donuts because I'm no longer going to live my life fearing food and crazily restricting myself. So I could have the donuts. But a badass also says, I really care about my physical health. I really care about my mental health. So I'm first going to check in with myself to really see if I want this donut. And if I'm actually experiencing a craving and the donut sounds really good right now, or if I'm experiencing an urge and I feel like I need the donut ASAP. Or am I just wanting the donut because it's there? Or am I just wanting the donut because I'm bored? Or am I eating the donut because I feel bad for saying no? Let me know if you can relate to any of the things that I just said. I had a client that I'm working with inside of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy, and she was telling me how challenging it is for her to say no to food that is brought into the office. She doesn't want to offend anyone. She doesn't want to make anyone feel bad by saying no. And this is a whole other conversation, but a badass takes care of herself. A badass doesn't people please. A badass isn't worried about hurting other people's feelings. Not because you don't care. I know you have a huge heart and that's why you really care. But you also know that it's not beneficial for you to just eat something to please somebody else. If you really want the donut, have the donut. If you know you're experiencing the urge to binge and you're like, I just need to eat this in secret, oh my God, I need it right now, then maybe you have the discernment to say no. And if you really don't want the donut, but you're afraid, oh my gosh, what are my coworkers gonna say? A badass says no anyways because a badass respects herself. She's just not gonna eat the donut just to please somebody. Where are you still pleasing other people? Where are you still worried about what other people think? You could not have the donut and somebody is gonna say, oh, are you on a weight loss journey? Oh, are you dieting? Oh, why don't you want the donut? Come on, it's this person's birthday. Or you can have the donut and somebody's gonna say, well, better go to the gym after this. I gotta burn off all the calories. Regardless if you have the donut or you don't have the donut, a badass makes decisions for herself, not other people. I'm gonna say that again. A badass makes decisions for herself, not other people. You need to start making decisions that make you happy. And you need to stop blaming other people for other reasons for why you're binging and take responsibility. Okay, I actually didn't want the donut and I didn't want this person to feel bad, so I had the donut and now I'm sick and I feel bloated and I'm so uncomfortable and I don't feel well. It doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve other people to just say yes to please other people. Something else that goes along with this, along with letting go of the people pleasing, is letting go of FOMO and the scarcity mindset. I'm working with another client inside of the Ditch Decade Diets Academy. And she said to me that oftentimes she feels FOMO. She feels scarcity. When her partner is wanting a snack in the evening and she doesn't really want anything, she feels scarcity. She feels FOMO because her partner's eating something and she kind of feels like she's missing out. But again, you're not missing out if you're listening to your body. You're not missing out because when you really want a snack, you're going to have the snack. When you don't want a snack, you're going to be confident in that. You please yourself. What do you want? What does Carla want? What does Sarah want? What does Brittany want? What does Brianna want? The only time there would be FOMO is if you're really wanting the snack and you're not allowing yourself to have the snack because you have all these crazy food rules, You're around a group of friends who are all eating ice cream and you're telling yourself you can't because of the calories. Well, of course you're going to have the scarcity mindset. Of course you're going to have FOMO because you feel like you're missing out, and you are. But when you truly don't want the ice cream, when you are truly full after dinner and you don't want a snack and your partner is having a snack, there's no need to have scarcity. You're safe. You can go into the pantry, you can grab a snack. You can go to our ice cream parlor and get ice cream. A badass is confident in her decisions. And when she doesn't want a snack, she doesn't have a snack. Just because somebody else is. A badass is confident in her decisions. She trusts herself. She knows she's safe to eat what she wants. And she can also not eat a snack if she's not hungry or she doesn't want a snack and not feel like she's missing out because she's not missing out. She could have a snack, but she's choosing not to. That's empowering. That's not FOMO. FOMO is, I really want the ice cream, but I can't because the calories. That's FOMO. But a badass says, I could have it. I genuinely do not feel like it right now. So I am making an empowering decision because I'm a freaking badass and I can own my decisions and I am confident in that. So I have so many examples of people pleasing, FOMO examples. Even when I used to blame, going back to the blame, I used to blame so many other people and things for my binge eating. Oh, well, my partner is eating and now I want a snack. No, you can make the decision. It is so important to take responsibility. And I'm not saying blame yourself because you're the reason you're binging. You don't choose to binge. But it's also important to not blame other factors and just recognizing, okay, I have an unhealthy relationship with food. I have urges. I have urges and that's why I'm out of control. I'm not broken. I don't lack motivation. I just need to heal my relationship with food. I need to get rid of my urges so that I can control myself. So let me know in the chat. I want this to be very interactive. If you've not yet, drop down below. Where do you believe that you're maybe blaming your binges? Maybe you're blaming it on stress, the time of the month, your coworkers bringing in food into the office. You're blaming your partner. Your partner's always bringing in snacks and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Maybe you're blaming your kids. You're like, my kids want all these snacks. Are you blaming your kids because you can't control yourself? In 2019, I was working in an office, okay? So my husband and I we had our own fitness studio in 2018. And I was going into the office every single day. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, those people who work from home, they probably never binge because they're so lucky. They're at home. They could, go into the pantry. They can have whatever they want. They can feel satisfied because they can actually heat up their food. And here I am, I got to eat my meal straight out of the fridge and it's cold and I can't just decide, what sounds good? I have to eat whatever I bring to work with me. And people who work from home, they could decide in the moment. They can have a satisfying lunch. That's why I'm binging. That's blaming external reasons. Because people who also work from home will go, well, the reason that I'm so out of control with food is because I work from home and the food is just right there and it's in my house and it's so easy for me to go into the pantry and go into the cupboard and I'm actually working out of my kitchen. And do you see how it's so easy to blame your circumstances? When you live alone, I'm binging because I'm home alone and nobody's watching me, so I can literally just eat whatever I want and I feel lonely and I feel bored, and when there's nothing to do, I just eat. Or again, you're blaming your partner. It would have been so much easier if my partner did not freaking bring in ice cream into the house, because if it's in the house, then I can't control myself. I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with you because I want you to conquer. This is a cop-out. It's easy to say the reason why I'm binging is all the things, without taking responsibility to say I have an unhealthy relationship with food. And again, you're not saying you're broken. You aren't broken. You're a freaking badass. But it's just taking responsibility. Okay, I need to heal my relationship with food. I need to get rid of my urges so that my partner, my poor partner, who just wants to enjoy his chocolate and doesn't have a problem with food, I don't want to feel like I'm punishing him because I can't control myself. I want him to enjoy the chocolate. And I'm gonna take responsibility and I'm gonna do the work to heal my relationship with food so that he can have his chocolate and it can be in the house without me spiraling out of control. I want to heal my relationship with food so that I can bake with my daughter and not have to punish her and say, no, we can't bake today because mom's gonna binge on it before the night ends. So that your coworker can celebrate her birthday and who's just so happy and excited to bring donuts or pizza into the lunchroom, and that's such a beautiful gift, without getting mad at her because she's having a great time and celebrating her birthday. A badass takes responsibility and says, okay, I recognize I'm out of control with food and I'm gonna get the proper support that I need and I'm gonna heal my relationship with food and I'm gonna put an end to the cycle. I'm not gonna blame anyone else. I am choosing to heal. That is empowering. I am choosing to heal. Drop that down below. I am choosing to heal. I am choosing to heal. No one's telling you have to heal your relationship with food. You're choosing. You're choosing because you're a badass and you want to end this cycle. Yes, Sandy says, I want to be able to have certain foods in the house and not feel out of control around them. Yes, and you will get there. I'm choosing to heal. Madola, yes. Devin, I'm choosing to heal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Brianna. Brianna's a badass client of mine. I'm choosing to heal. I'm choosing to heal. Okay, number 3. A badass is someone who's not afraid to put in the work and take action towards a healthier relationship with food and a binge-free life. I know you, okay? Whether this is the first time you're ever doing a masterclass with me or you're one of my badass clients, I know you. I know you. You're a hard worker. You are. And if you think about so many things that you've done in your life for you to get to where you are right now, you've worked hard. And it's easy to bypass that and not even really take a moment to consider all the hard things that you've done to get to where you are today. So then you look at binging and you believe this is so hard, it's so challenging. But the only reason it feels hard is because you don't have the tools yet. You don't know how to rewire your brain. You don't know how to become less impulsive with food. If you've never learned the tools, of course it's going to feel challenging. But you are a hard worker. You're somebody who's willing to put in the work. You're ready to take action. You're like, Lorna, just tell me what to do to start my binge-free life so I can stop feeling so impulsive with food and I can stop having these crazy food rules, and I'm going to do it. You are an action taker. You're not afraid to put in the work. You have goals, you have dreams. You want to become the best version of yourself, for your family. How many of you guys want to become the best version of yourselves? Like, yes, you want to stop binge eating. I get that. But you also want to feel your best physically. You want to have energy. You want to feel good in your skin. You want to be mentally healthy. You want to think positive thoughts. You want to be emotionally healthy and be able to cope and manage and process your emotions without turning to food. And you will get there because you are an action taker. You're not afraid to put in the work. You know that ending binge eating is not going to happen overnight. You know this is not going to be an overnight success, and you're not even looking for a quick fix. Like, how many of you guys are done with yo-yo dieting, quick fix, band-aid solutions? You're here because you want to do things sustainably and end your binge eating for good. I saw when one of you guys joined the group, you said, Like, I've had less binges, but I don't want any binges. I don't want any urges. And I'm the coach for you if that's what you want. I only attract people in my community that want to do things sustainably. So if you're here and you're looking for a quick fix, I'm not for you. You're not here to just have a few binge-free days, binge-free months, and then revert back to old habits because you've done that. And you're here because you want to do things differently. You are willing to put in the work. You are willing to take action every single day towards your binge-free life because that's the definition of a badass. A badass doesn't expect results to come overnight. A badass puts in the work. You know you've spent years dieting and restricting yourself, so it's not going to be an overnight success where all of a sudden, snap my fingers and I don't have guilt anymore, and snap my fingers, I don't have an urge, and snap my fingers, I'm, making peace with chocolate even though I feared it for 20 years of my life. You know this is going to take some time, but you're not afraid of that. You're not afraid to put in the work so that you can live your binge-free life. Drop action taker in the chat if you're a badass who's willing to take action towards your binge-free life. All of you guys should be commenting because this is who you are. Drop action taker below. Carla, I'm so ready to make the change sustainably. Yes. So over the dieting and binging. So done. I'm so over dieting and quick fixes. Yes. You guys are my people. You guys are my people. I only attract badass action takers in my community. I know you go after what you want. You're not afraid to put in the work because you know that living a life where food no longer controls you is freaking worth it. And a badass knows that it's actually way more challenging to spend all day thinking about food and waking up so bloated and so full because of how much you ate last night and having so much anxiety around food and constantly overthinking your food choices. A badass knows that's actually more challenging to live with than putting in the work and committing to a better relationship with food so that you can live the rest of your life feeling calm and relaxed around food. Period. Done. End of story. A badass knows that waking up and living with regret and promising Monday I'm going to do better, oh, just one last time, feeling so anxious going out for dinner, a badass knows that that actually is a way more challenging life than putting in the work to heal your relationship with food so that you can have no food thoughts for the rest of your life, no urges to binge for the rest of your life, like myself, 4 years binge free, not a single urge to binge because I've done things sustainably. That's the definition of a badass. Okay, number 4. My inner badass doesn't binge. Yes. Okay, number 4. By the way, we're going to town today, so I don't care how long I'm on here. I'm delivering. We're going to town. We're doing this, okay? Okay, number 4. I'm going to say it with love. You need to stop being a negative Nancy. Okay, sorry Nancy's, any Nancy's in the house, I love you. It is what it is. A badass is somebody who is positive and solution oriented. Even when things don't go as planned, I'm gonna find a way. A badass doesn't complain, why is it not working? A badass says, okay, what can I do differently? So, for example, if things don't go as planned. So let's go back to that coworker example. And if your coworker brings in donuts in the office, or your coworker, or maybe your partner asks like, hey, do you want to go out for dinner? And maybe things weren't planned and it's very spontaneous. She is so loud, that negative Nancy. Hard to ignore. Yes. A badass doesn't freak out when things don't go as planned. A badass trusts that everything will work out and I'm going to find a way. You know it's safe to release control because trying to control everything has only led you to have way more anxiety around food. So a badass says, okay, well, I did not plan to spontaneously go out to eat, but I'm not going to fear it. I'm going to release control. I'm going to step into that badass version of myself who can go with the flow. Because if I were to take a guess, I'm sure many of you guys want to be spontaneous. You want to go with the flow. But there is a belief of I need to control everything, and I need to know exactly how much I'm eating, and I need to know exactly when I'm going out for dinner and what time dinner is and what the menu is. But deep down, you don't even want to be that person. You don't even want to be that person. You want to be spontaneous. You want to go with the flow. Cindy's here. Cindy's one of my academy clients. Welcome, Cindy. I used to be a control freak, okay? Like I needed to control everything. I needed to track my food, weigh my food, count my almonds, weigh my spinach, plan all my workouts, know exactly where I was going out for dinner, what time, what's the date, what's the restaurant, what's the menu. I needed to know everything. And I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to be in flow. I wanted to feel calm and not anxious. And so a badass recognizes how they're reacting and how they're behaving, but they don't say, this is who I am. They're flexible and willing to change and release control. Imagine if I said, 4 years ago, imagine if I said this. Well, this is just who I am. I'm just somebody, I just need to control everything, and I need everything to go perfectly as planned. And I need to know exactly what time I'm eating, what I'm eating, how much I'm eating, and that's just the way that I am, and I'm just a control freak. I would not be here 4 years binge free. I would have not released my food rules. I wouldn't have spontaneously been going out for dinner. I wouldn't be feeling calm and relaxed around food because I'm just telling myself, this is who I am. I need to know everything. I need to know what the macros are. I need to know what the calories are. What's the menu? A badass can recognize, I love being in control, but it's also not serving me. Just like a badass can recognize, okay, so I've tracked macros for a really long time, and sure, maybe it made me release weight, but it caused me to binge more. It made me more obsessed with food. I thought about food so much more, so I let it go. A badass has the awareness to do that. A badass recognizes the negative consequences of the behaviors that they're engaging in, and they're willing to let it go. A badass stays positive. A badass is solution-oriented. They're willing to be flexible, change their approach. They're willing to find a way to make things work. So for example, after a binge, a badass doesn't say, oh, I'm a failure, I'm so broken. A badass says, okay, what can I do differently? I've been using one of my clients who just joined the academy. She was actually inside of the membership, then she joined Conquer. Now she's in the academy to get more personalized coaching. I gave her a badass award inside of our community because she's somebody who is so positive on this journey of conquering binge eating. And she shared in our group that she had a binge. But instead of saying, man, I'm such a failure, and I'm gonna blame myself, I'm gonna speak negatively to myself, she said, okay, this is just a bump along my journey. Tomorrow's a brand new day. I'm gonna learn from this. I'm excited to keep moving forward because I believe in myself. I'm gonna trust this process, and I'm gonna keep going. And that's exactly why I know she's gonna conquer. Because she's not hard on herself. She's not being a little negative Nancy. Somebody who's negative just says, oh, well, this sucks. Well, I'm a failure. How are you gonna become binge free with that? Something negative or something that you don't want to happen can happen like a binge. But how you choose to view the situation and how you choose to speak to yourself and what you do after makes the biggest difference. And I'm going to be so honest with you. I don't have any clients that come to me and say this isn't working. Not because everything's perfect, but they're solution oriented. So maybe if they did have a binge, it's not like, oh, I'm a failure. It's, hey, Lorna, what can I do differently? A badass is somebody who finds the way. They look for solutions. Okay, what's going well? What can I maybe do differently? They don't focus on what's not working and, oh, the problems. They focus on, okay, what can I do to stop my binge eating? What can I do differently? Okay, how do I have to think differently? Are these thoughts even serving me? Is this behavior even serving me? They are solution oriented. Okay, number five. If you're still with me, say something in the chat. How are you guys doing? Number 5, a badass is somebody, this is a big one. A badass is somebody who knows she is safe without binge eating and doesn't need it in her life anymore, so she's willing to let it go. Binge eating makes you feel safe. Binge eating brings you comfort. Binge eating gives you that boost of dopamine. It is a source of pleasure. But a badass can recognize that sometimes things that feel good for you are also destructive and not serving you. And a badass is willing to explore other options of pleasure because she no longer wants this false sense of pleasure through food. Brittany, my Badass Academy client. Cindy says being negative not only pauses the progress, but it also keeps me bloated more than when I'm positive. Yeah, negative emotions, 100%. A badass wants to experience other forms of joy so that food isn't the only source of happiness and pleasure and joy and comfort. And a badass recognizes that the only reason you feel like binging is the only form of joy is because you're blocking yourself from experiencing joy in other areas of your life. So Meredith says, still here, how you speak to yourself is so important. Yes. Binge eating is destructive, not serving us. False sense of pleasure. Yes. It's been my safe place, but no more. Yes. Carla, there's something about you. You're just a badass. Okay. When you're binging, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, especially in your own skin, you don't show up to the social event. You're not even intimate with your partner. Your poor partner just wants to be loving towards you, and you push your partner away. You don't show up as your authentic self. You are blocking yourself from experiencing pleasure. And so a badass can recognize that and say, well, I don't want food to be the only source of pleasure in my life. It only feels like binging is the only source of pleasurable thing in my life because I don't have other sources of joy in my life. But when you focus on adding in more joy and adding more pleasure in your life and you put in the work to heal your relationship with food, you're going to experience so much joy on a daily basis, you will not even have the desire to numb out on food because your life is so filled with joy. You're experiencing joy on a daily basis. Your cup is literally overflowing with joy. You don't have to run away from your life. You don't need to numb out. You don't need to escape because you're living an incredible life. I used to think that food was the only source of joy in my life, but that was because I didn't let myself live. Now I have so much joy in my life, and you don't even have to do anything dramatic or crazy. It's in the small moments of joy. And I used to have a love-hate relationship with food and binging. Let me know if you can relate to this. Carla says, I'm so ready for that joy. Many of you guys might have saw on my Instagram, I actually did a photo shoot And well, it was just with Andrew. I'm gonna get professional photos taken, but I wanted to celebrate 4 years being binge free, but I also just wanted to like showcase the joy that I experience on a regular basis. And it's like I never thought I would have joy in my life other than binging. It's like, no, binging is the source of joy in my life. But you're going to get to a point where you can literally go on a walk and you're smiling ear to ear because you're just so freaking happy. You can be sitting on the couch with your partner, holding your partner's hand, watching a movie, and just looking over at your partner and being like, how is this my life? That's my reality, and it's going to be your reality as well, too. So, this love-hate relationship. Thank you, Brianna. So, love-hate relationship with food and binging. I loved how food was there for me, always. Food brought me happiness. It brought me comfort. It was always there for me, especially, after a long day of work. Food was always there for me. I loved that. But I also hated it. I hated how I felt like I had no control around food. I hated how my entire life revolved around food, and that's all I thought about. I felt like my urges were controlling my life. I hated how I didn't even feel like myself when eating. Like I felt like a monster was taking over my body and eating for me. I hated how I always needed to be perfect and everything I needed to be in control 24/7. I hated how I intellectually knew, Lorna, you are full, you don't need any more food, and my body was like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna keep on eating until you feel like your stomach's gonna burst. I hated waking up with so much crippling anxiety, feeling like I was purposely putting on weight because of how much I was eating and how I had zero control over that. I hated how embarrassing binging was. I hated how out of control I felt. How for a lot of areas of my life, I was very successful in this one area of my relationship with food I just couldn't control. I hated that. I hated how every time I got the house to myself, secret eating time. I hated that. But I also knew deep down, I stepped into my inner badass self who said, although there's parts of you that likes binging is impacting your life in a negative way, in your relationships, being snappy with Andrew, being snappy with my mom, pushing my husband away when he just wants to love me and give me a hug, showing up to work with a smile on my face and pretending everything's okay, but internally not even wanting to be seen because I felt like I was living a double life where everyone saw me as Lorna's so healthy and Lorna's so fit, and deep down, behind closed doors, I was this monster who couldn't control myself. I didn't want that. And so a badass knows that she is meant to be in the driver's seat of her life, not have her urges control her life. I got clear on my why I wanted to stop binge eating, why I wanted to commit to this process. What is your why? What is your why? Can you drop it down below? Why do you want to stop binge eating? And I want you to get pretty emotional. Like, if you're telling me I want to stop binge eating so I can lose weight, that's not good enough. Like, it's not a strong, empowering reason why. Because, when the number on the scale doesn't go down, you're going to feel like a failure and then you're not going to keep going. Get deeper. I want to stop my binge eating because I want to stop feeling bloated. That's surface level. I want to stop my binge eating because my behaviors, your behaviors with food are rubbing off to your children, and you're starting to notice that your children are now starting to obsess over food and look at herself in the mirror and start pinching her stomach. That's not okay. You want to heal your relationship with food because you don't want to live your life on autopilot anymore. You don't want to just go through the motions. You want to be in the driver's seat and decide how you want to live your life, not have your urges decide how you live your life. So what is your why? I want my life back. I want my mental real estate back. Mental freedom to spend time with my kids, be present mentally for them. I want to be confident in my body and live life to the fullest and not be ruled by my anxiety around food. I'm already in tears. I want to live my life, be present in my own life. I want to stop being irritable with my kids and my husband because I'm binging. Yes. Yes. I want to have an even more amazing relationship with my husband. Yes, Cindy just got married. I want to be more present with my husband, be free, happy, and fully myself. Yes. I don't want my kids to be stuck in this life that I'm in. So you go first, Sarah. You go first. You go first. I don't want to have that secret binge part of my life anymore. I want to not take out my frustration and binge eating on my husband and kids. I need to reconnect with my why for living, honestly. Food has been numbing a deep sadness and keeping me from addressing this. Yeah. To fully live and enjoy life, stop the constant food noise. To be a good role model for my kids, yes. How can you not heal your relationship with food when you want to be a better role model to your kids? I don't even have kids. I don't have kids. But in 2019, I was like, one day I want to start a family. I don't even have kids. And I started getting emotional because I'm like, there is no way that I am bringing a child into my life when I'm still super obsessive and my kids are going to watch me weighing my spinach and eating something different than them. And my entire family's going to go out for ice cream and mom's on a diet so she can't. No, I couldn't do that. So I made a decision to heal my relationship with food. That was my why. You are safe without binge eating, and a badass knows that. A badass knows that she can find comfort in other ways. A badass knows that she doesn't need binge eating in her life. A badass can say, thank you, binge eating. Thank you for being there in times of stress, in times of worry, in times of discomfort. Thank you. But also, goodbye. I no longer need you in my life right now. You're going to go into the back seat, and I'm choosing to take control of my life. I actually no longer need you. Brittany says, my body is a gift. I want to serve and glorify God in all that I do, and I want to put this behind me. I want to live intentionally, be in the moment, enjoy many blessings instead of being a slave to compulsive binging or food fear. Brittany is one of my Badass Academy clients as well too, and that's just so beautiful. A badass is willing to let go of anything that no longer serves her because she's ready for better things. She's ready to start living her life. She's ready for her binge-free life. How many of you guys want to start living? Not just going through the motions, I want the day to be over because I binge. No, I want to live. I did a podcast episode. I think I released the episode. And I said, you're not alive unless you're living. And many people, too many people, are going through the motions. So many people are just on autopilot. But a badass is somebody who wants to live intentionally, who wants to experience every single moment of life. A badass wants to be present with her partner, her children, and live a joyful life, not just be numbed out and then the last 15 minutes of your day when you finally have time for yourself, you binge on some food to get some relief. You want to experience joy and pleasure in every single moment. Oh my God, Sarah's about to get married. I want to live. Yes. So a badass is willing to let shit go that does not serve her. Excuse my Frenchola. She knows that although binging is comforting in one way, and yes, it's soothing, and yes, it's pleasurable, it's also extremely destructive, and it doesn't match where I'm going. I'm here to do big things in my life. I don't need binging in my life. It's time to let it go. So goodbye. Thank you, but it's time to say goodbye. I'm on my way to my binge-free life, baby. You're not coming with me. You served me. You served me for a season of my life. You were there for me. Thank you. But I'm on to better things. Okay, number 6. A badass doesn't let fear get in the way. A badass is brave. A badass is courageous. And a badass is willing to do what most people won't do. Again, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Thank you, but goodbye. I like that. Yes. It's like that Ariana Grande song. Thank you. Next. You're moving on to your binge-free life, right? Everyone says, I want to stop binge eating. But I'm going to be honest with you that there's only a few people who actually conquer. Not because they're lucky, not because they know more than you, not because they're smarter, not because they're trying harder. They conquer because they get support, they put in the work, and they follow through. They don't say, well, I want a better relationship with food and then I'm going to commit, and then after 1 week when I'm still binging and it gets hard and I'm scared, I'm out. A badass keeps going because there's going to be fear on your journey. Of course, releasing your food rules can feel scary. Most people will continue to have food rules because they're not willing to lean into the fear, but that's not you. You are a badass who is willing to lean into the fear because, again, you're ready to live. You're ready for your binge-free life. And a badass is somebody who knows, get this, a badass is somebody who knows that what's even scarier than releasing your food rules is living with binge eating for the rest of your life. Woo. Chills? A badass knows what's even scarier than releasing food rules is spending the rest of your life obsessing over food and calories and binging for the rest of your life. Most people will say, I want a better relationship with food, but won't commit long term. They will start healing their relationship with food, but then they have a binge, they believe they're failing, and they're like, it's too hard, I'm out. They're going to start healing their relationship with food, and then when there's fear, throw in the towel. A badass doesn't do that. A badass leans into the fear. A badass is willing to do what most people aren't willing to do. So they keep going when most people will quit. They keep going when people are scared and they have fear and then they quit. A badass says, well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to show up every day. It's so easy to start something. It's the easiest thing. But can you keep going? A badass commits long term. Not just a week, not just a month, not just a few months. A badass says, I want a better relationship with food, so I'm going to keep going until I have it. And that makes all the difference. I personally committed to a full year of healing my relationship with food. A full year. Was there doubt? But I kept going. Was there fear? But I kept going. Were there times where I just wanted to quit? And I kept going. And that's why I'm binge free today. A badass doesn't let excuses get in the way. A badass says, I want a better relationship with food, so I am going to commit. Not just the beginning, not when things are just lollipops and rainbows, but how about after a month or 4 months? Are you still committed? How long have you been working on your relationship with food? Can you let me know in the comments? How long? Just kind of curious, how long have you been working on your relationship with food? How long have you been working on your relationship with food? A badass says, I'm ready to heal my relationship with food, and then fully commits until she does. Most people don't conquer binge eating, not because they don't have it in them. You have that badass version of yourself inside, but because they're not patient, because they want results yesterday. And well, I'm not binge free yet, so it's probably not going to work, so I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm going to commit for a week, but then when I don't see results, I'm just going to stop. I committed to a full year, and that is why I conquered. This is why my Root and Rewire membership is 6 or 12 months. Conquer is 6 or 12 months. These are my programs. Some of my programs, because it gives you the time to heal, to sustainably end binge eating for good, so you can live your life. It doesn't mean it has to take a long time. It didn't take me a year to fully conquer. I gave myself that time because I wasn't looking for a quick fix. I was committed to the process. A badass doesn't start something that she doesn't finish. She commits and she's in it for the long term. Louisa said about 6 months, the approach didn't fully suit me. Well, I'm so glad that we're doing some work together. You're just already such a badass. Okay. Number 7. Thank you all for sharing. Okay, number 7, this kind of ties into what I just said, but a badass is somebody who is integral with their word. So when you say you're going to do something, you do it. I'm not referring to when you say you're not going to binge tonight, you don't binge. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying when you tell yourself you're only going to have one cookie, you only have one cookie. I'm not saying that. That's not realistic. But I'm saying, are you integral with your habits? Are you integral with your routines? When you say you're going to go to bed earlier, do you do it? When you say you're going to get up earlier to do a morning routine, do you do it? When you say you're going to move your body 3 times this week, do you do it? Not out of punishment. Not out of punishment. But a badass has high standards for herself. She knows she deserves to feel her best. She wants to physically, mentally, and emotionally feel her best. So she prioritizes herself. She prioritizes her habits. She prioritizes her routines. What a beautiful thing. It is such a gift to take care of yourself. Where can you be more integral with your habits and your routines? How to build this consistently? You start small. Too many people say, I'm going to work out for 7 days of the week, and I'm going to do a morning routine. I'm going to meditate for 25 minutes, and I'm also going to journal for 35 minutes, and I'm also going to do 10 minutes of breath work, and I'm also going to go to the gym, and I'm also going to do Pilates class, and I'm also going to meal prep, and inconsistent. Not many people are willing to be realistic, and that's where the consistency falls off. A badass knows her potential. A badass knows she's worthy of a great life, so I am going to prioritize my health. I'm going to show up. I'm going to follow through. I am a very committed and integral person. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. When I say I'm going to go for a walk, I do it. But it doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean, if I can only do 10 minutes, throw in the towel. No, I'm going to go for 10 minutes. If I miss a day, there's no guilt. That's the difference. Being integral with your word it's not about being perfect, but it's about following through and taking care of yourself and treating yourself like the badass that you are. I have very high standards for myself, but do not confuse that with I need to beat myself up. I don't beat myself up, but I also have high standards for myself because I'm here to live an incredible life. I'm not here to just go through the motions. I'm here to be the best wife. I'm here to be the best binge eating coach on the planet. If I want to be the best and I don't take care of myself, that doesn't even make sense. I treat myself like I'm a freaking badass because I am one. I treat myself like I'm a freaking queen because I am one. I treat myself like I am the most important person, and I am. Are you doing this? And this is not in like an egotistical way, but you're a freaking badass, so start treating yourself like you're one. It's easy to say, I'm going to start going to bed earlier, but then you're scrolling. It's easy to say, I want to have more meals prepped, not out of restriction, but because I feel better when I have meals cooked. But then when you're tired or you don't have energy and you end up eating cookies for dinner, that's not self-love. That's not self-respect. A badass takes care of herself. A badass fuels her body. You guys know, I take care of my health. I care about my health. And I also have a good relationship with food. So don't think you can't have both, because I will prove to you that you can't have both. A badass takes care of herself. She always prioritizes herself because she knows that she's worthy of that. If you want to be the best partner, the best mom, the best example to your children, show up for yourself. A badass doesn't make excuses. She finds the way. Drop below, I will find a way. Drop it down below, I will find a way. I always find ways to prioritize myself even when I'm busy because it's important to me. I'm running a 5-day masterclass. I also have clients in all different programs. I have different programs going on right now. I still got up and did my workout. Not because, Lorna, you need to lose weight. Lorna, you got to burn off calories. Oh my God, da 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 da. I want to have the most amount of energy. I want to deliver the best training in the entire world over the next 5 days. I need to take care of myself. You will find a way. That's the mindset of a badass who conquers binge eating and takes care of herself. A badass doesn't put herself on the back burner. A badass doesn't wait to take better care of herself. She starts today. You do the best that you can. You don't wait. A badass doesn't say, oh, it's Monday and I already messed up, so I'm just going to wait until next Monday. No. You can start right now. Okay, number 8. There's a few more. A badass focuses on memories and living an incredible life instead of obsessing over everything that you're eating and how your body looks. I want you to think about the memories that you're excited to make. What things do you want to do in your life, but maybe you're not doing it because the way your body looks or because food's stressing you out? Maybe it's traveling. Maybe you really want to start a business. Maybe you want to do a family photo shoot. Maybe you want to start baking with your daughter. What memories do you want to make? Let me know in the chat. For me, it was always travel. Travel used to give me so much anxiety and it would be so consuming because before going on vacation, I would diet and over-exercise. And then when I was on vacation, I wasn't even enjoying my time because I was like so terrified of losing my hard work. And then because I wasn't in my normal routine and whatever, just get into the all or nothing mentality. And when I would come home, I'm going to get back on track and I'm going to eat better. But then that would leave me feeling deprived and of course lead to more binging. I wanted to travel with my husband. I wanted to enjoy different cultures and the amazing food without getting into the all or nothing mentality because I couldn't work out or I wasn't in my normal routine. So what memories do you want to make? Because a badass focuses on making memories. A badass lives her life. A badass lives her life. She wants to look back on her life when she's 90 years old and say, I am so glad I lived. I'm so glad I went on that vacation. I'm so glad that for my 30th birthday, I had this party. I'm so glad I was present with my family and my kids, and I prioritized baking with my daughter instead of avoiding it because what if I spiral into a binge? A badass doesn't want to live with regret. She doesn't want to look back at her life and say, I wish I did X, Y, Z. A badass does it. A badass lives her life. Not tomorrow, not next month, not in a year, right now. So are you living your life or are you waiting? Are you waiting to be binge free? Are you waiting to be smaller? Are you waiting for things to be perfect? Your life is now. Your life is now. And it's time to start living your life now and making memories now because that's what a badass does. A badass chooses to heal her relationship with food so she can start living loud now and making memories now. Going on dates, traveling, playing with my kids, swimming with friends, cookouts with family, having an amazing intimate relationship with my husband. Yes, Carla, I share this a lot. I used to never want to be intimate with Andrew. Poor guy just wanted to love me. And I'm like, don't look at me. Don't you dare touch my stomach. And push his arm around. Like, don't touch me. What? We're married. We're in a relationship. I love you. And thinking about how my husband felt, like, poor guy, probably thought I was like rejecting him. I didn't want to live that. Snorkeling, biking, canoeing, a more active lifestyle without being ashamed of my body size and weight and being scared of hurting myself because of my weight. Yes. Making memories and taking carefree vacations with my nephews. Going on dates with my husband. Like, that's the best thing in the world. Best thing in the world. Okay, 2 more. Number 9. A badass stops worrying about what other people think and starts making decisions that she wants to be making. Kind of spoke about this a little bit. But, oh, that's beautiful, Devin. Photo shoot to promote my music. I love it. Just like me. I did a photo shoot to showcase my binge for your life, and now you're gonna be able to do that as well too for your music. That's amazing. Okay, it's so easy to order a salad because I don't want people to judge me if I get the burger. So I'm not gonna honor myself. I'm not gonna honor my cravings. I'm not gonna honor what I really want because I care too much about what other people think. Again, a badass says, I am craving XYZ food, so I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I said at the beginning, people are always gonna comment. People are always gonna talk about what you're eating. So you might as well just listen to your body and honor your cravings and get what you want. Eat what you really want. Order what you really want. I used to not eat what I wanted in front of other people. And then literally as soon as my guests would leave the house and I was alone, I would just binge on what I really wanted to eat the whole time. A badass does not do that. A badass doesn't let fear of what are people gonna think hold them back. A badass owns her food choices. She's confident. She honors her cravings. She shows up as her authentic self. You know those people who are just so confident, like, yeah, heck yeah, I'm ordering a burger. Like, that's a badass. If a badass wants a snack, if you want a snack and no one else is having it, you have the snack. If everyone else had 2 slices of pizza and they're like, I'm so full, and you want 4, you have 4. You own it. Okay, last one, number 10. A badass is somebody who gets the support for her relationship with food and doesn't try to stop binge eating on her own. A badass values support from somebody who's binge free and who's been exactly where she is. A badass doesn't wait a single moment longer to say, I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this and continue to give into her urges. A badass says, I'm ready to stop thinking about food. I'm ready to start living my life. I'm ready to start making memories now. A badass says, okay, who is where I wanna be? Who gets me? Who is binge free? Who's gone through this journey and how can I learn from them? They get support from a coach. They're plugged into a community. How many of my clients in the membership, Conquer, the Academy, maybe some of you guys are here, you know the value of community and support. A badass knows I am ready to stop binge eating. Remember, I take responsibility for the fact that I need to heal my relationship with food. So a badass invests in her healing. She surrounds herself with other people who get her. She has support. She has community. She has accountability. She's around other badasses who get her and who cheer her on. I've always learned from coaches where I want to be. I didn't try to stop binge eating on my own because to me, that's a waste of time. If I know somebody has gone through binge eating and I'm listening to their podcast, I'm watching a training, I'm following them on social media, and I know that they get me and they make me feel seen, I'm like, hi, I'm ready to learn from you. That's what I did. I value support. I value coaching. I value having the blueprint of somebody who can walk alongside me as I conquer binge eating. Cindy says a badass like Lorna makes it possible for everyone to have support for binge eating. There's a way for everyone to get support because of you. Yes. So a badass doesn't try to figure out how to stop binging on her own when she knows that she needs the support. She needs the community. She needs the accountability. She's the one in the programs. She's working with a coach. She's leaning into the support. It's the biggest game changer I see with every single one of my clients. They share their wins. They ask their questions. They come on the coaching calls. They get the support that they need. That will transform your relationship with food. So, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat, how are you feeling? We are going to wrap up day 1. There is going to be some homework. I'm going to share the giveaway. But let me know in the chat, how are you feeling? Your homework for day 1, I'm going to post it in the group so you don't have to memorize this. I'm going to make a post in the Facebook group. I want you to share, what is your definition of a badass? And what do you need to let go of And who do you need to become in order to step into your badass self? So talking about the 10 things that I spoke about today, like what do you see, like what is a badass to you? What do you need to let go of, and who do you need to step into? Okay, so once I share that in the group, do the homework, show up, okay, do this work. Pumped up, inspired, so excited for this. Emotional, but hopeful. I'm floored. I never talked about this in a group. I already feel shame. You're already feeling lifted. Yep. Inspired, excited, emotional, ready. I'm feeling like a badass. Cindy, you are a badass. You're in the academy. You're a friggin' badass. Okay. I'm going to do the giveaway. There's one winner who is going to win a $111 credit to use towards any of my programs. I'm going to share the winner. There is going to be way more giveaway, so definitely stay tuned. But I'm going to go ahead. I did a random number generator. So let me pull this up here. Okay, the winner of the $111 credit that you can use towards any of my programs, drum roll please, is, I don't know if she's on, Carla Linkeen? Definitely butchering that. Carla, Lieneke on Facebook. So Carla, congratulations. I will message you right after this. You won a $111 credit to use towards any of my badass programs. Cannot wait to support you and just give you all the custom support that you need to conquer binge eating. So I'll message you right after this. Drum roll, please. Okay, congratulations. Tomorrow is day 2. Tomorrow is day 2. So I'm going to be in this group again, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. By the way, you can still upgrade to VIP. So I'm going to be opening up the VIP right after this call, right after this training. I'm going to be sharing how to maintain a binge-free life, how to actually do things sustainably right now. Oh my gosh, Carla, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Okay, I just dropped the link for the VIP. If you want to know how to not have any more urges, how to set yourself up for a binge-free life that you can effortlessly maintain long-term, join VIP. It's $33. Upgrade, you also get a coaching call with me that's happening this week as well too. So upgrade to VIP, get your ticket because you're a badass. Okay, this is so amazing. I hope you guys are loving this. We're going to have so much fun and I can't wait to lead you for the next 5 days. So have an amazing rest of your day. Carla, message me or I'll message you. We'll get that sorted out. But have an amazing rest of your day, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow for day.